Thomas here, hope you're doing well. We're in the middle of a damn hot heat wave here in the UK, and we ain't equipped to deal with this weather. I mean, AC over here, nobody does that, so we just melt when the heat comes. So I've closed all the blinds, I've blocked out the sun, but instead I brought the heat to the inside because today we are going to fire up this flame guitar, quite literally. And today I'm going to tell you why Steve Vai gave me this guitar. And I'm going to show you some of the unusual characteristics of it. Obviously, we're going to shred all over this thing and push it to its limits and hear how it sounds. Before we get into all of that, I've got a damn epic announcement for you. On School of McRock, my online guitar teaching platform, we've just launched a brand new course. It's called Guitar Techniques 101. This course is great if you've been wanting to add a new technique to your arsenal, or simply just break out of the rut of playing the same licks over and over. In celebration of launching this course, I still find this number hard to say.
I know, mate, it's crazy.
We are launching it with a massive 90% discount. That means $299 down to $29. But that means nothing unless the course is actually any good. Let's take a look at what you're going to get. Heavy Rhythm 101. This lesson covers every aspect of my approach to rhythm playing, and it's packed full of tips and insights that you'll be able to apply to your playing, whether you're just starting out or you've been playing for years. Tapping 101. This lesson covers everything you need to know to become a tapping master. Whether you're a beginner unsure how to get started with tapping, or an experienced player looking for some tips and inspiration to take your playing to the next level. Sweep Picking 101. In this lesson, I'm going to give you a full breakdown of all the mechanics and movements involved in sweep picking, so you can learn everything you need to nail this awesome sounding technique. String Bending 101. In this lesson, I break down the fundamentals of bending and answer the most commonly asked questions about the technique. I also share my top secrets so you can learn all the tools you need to become a bending master. Hybrid Picking. It sounds super complicated, but it's actually quite easy to pick up. In this lesson, I break this technique down to teach you everything you need to know so you can start incorporating it into your playing. Legato 101. If you've ever wanted to incorporate legato into your playing, this is the lesson for you. This lesson covers the fundamentals relating to the tone and mechanics of legato playing, as well as some deep dives into various ways that I use legato in my own playing. It's packed with tips and tricks, as well as a selection of simple, quick exercises that will take your legato chops to the next level. Grab this time-limited offer whilst you can and get instant access to 54 crispy HD files, yours to download and keep forever. Head over to McRocklin.com/sale to claim your deal today and take your playing to the next level. Enjoy, let's get on with the video. Alright, show of hands in the comments if you grew up in the 80s, obsessed in all the shred kings of that era. I'm talking about Randy Rhoads, Satriani, Steve Vai, Jason Becker, Racer X, all those guys. Let me know who was your favorite and what you were listening to. I'm sure a lot of us are very similar in that regard, where we just grew up watching guys blazing all over the neck wearing very tight spandex. Good times, right? Good times. In completely over-the-top videos, but it was so fun, you know? It was just like absolutely amazing, right? But some of my favorite videos were the David Lee Roth videos. I mean, great songs, great playing, but I used to love the videos. I mean, some of my all-time favorite songs and videos have been from David Lee Roth, that era with Steve Vai. Skyscraper, Edelman Smile, watching Going Crazy and stuff like that over and over and over. For the guys that don't know, you know, the history of me and Steve, let me just give you a little bit of kind of context about the whole thing. So I met Steve around about 88 or so, Donington, Monsters of Rock. David Lee Roth was playing there, and that's where I met Steve Vai for the first time. When you meet somebody, it's normally for the first time, right? So But anyway, so I met Steve around 88 at Monsters of Rock, and we became pretty good friends actually, because not long after this, Steve Vai released Passion and Warfare, and I got invited to do the audience's listening video for that record. It was a really, really fun video to shoot. Maybe we could actually do a video series on that, because it was a pretty epic day down in Florida. Yeah, that could be a fun video. Let me know. A little while after this, I'd signed to Interscope Records, and the band Bad for Good was formed around me. Steve ended up producing and writing a lot of the material for the Bad for Good record, Refugee. During the rehearsal and recording phase for that record, I was staying with Steve above the mothership. So the studio, the mothership is downstairs, and really, really cool studio. Upstairs was his house. So it kind of made perfect sense, because we were tracking for sometimes 7 to 8 hours a day. And afterwards, you know, driving 2 or 3 hours across LA to my apartment, that was a bit of a slog, you know. So it just made more sense to stay with Steve during that period. Once the recording sessions were done for the day, if I wasn't watching movies rented from Blockbuster or playing on Super Nintendo, well, Steve had a guitar vault, rack after rack after rack of guitars. I mean, we're talking like way in excess of 100, just a lot of guitars in the guitar vault. It was amazing. But part of the fun was you would kind of pull a guitar case out, open it up, and it would be like a pleasant surprise, right? I mean, like, all the legendary Steve Vai guitars, they were all there. Even the heart shape and stuff like that in multiple pieces, it was just like crazy. So you'd pull these legendary guitars out and plug them into an amp, sit and jam, and just, you know, like have a fun time, like absolutely crazy. And then this one time I pulled out this case, and then inside the case was this flame guitar. And that was like a mind-blowing moment. So I'd put this guitar back in its case in a spot that I could always remember. I started to go into the guitar vault more frequently just to play this guitar. And after a while, Steve would come and check in on me, make sure I'm okay, because, you know, I could go in this guitar vault and 2-3 hours have passed by, and, you know, I'm having a hell of a time, but he's thinking like, hey, is he all right up there? What's going on? But after a while, I think Steve started to recognize that, hey, he's basically going up there and he's playing this guitar over and over and over, right? But anyway, we were still recording the guitars for the Bad for Good record, and I remember on this particular day, we were tracking solos actually. I can't remember the track. I kind of think it was Terminator. It was a pretty tricky solo, and we got it nailed, and it sounded really, really good. And I was really, really excited. It was my birthday that day. And yeah, just because it's your birthday, you don't stop recording those solos. Gotta get them done. Solos done for the day, and Steve put like a bandana, like blindfolded me with this bandana. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I'm sitting in the sort of chair, blindfolded, and I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And then the blindfold comes off, and then on my lap is this guitar, the flame guitar. I'm like, what, is this my birthday present? Like, seriously? Like, I mean, I was just like absolutely like buzzing, like blown away. Like, I couldn't believe it. And Steve, yeah, was like, yeah, this is your birthday present. And it was just such a lovely moment. Like, you know, still like, I'm getting a buzz just thinking about it. Just hyped beyond belief. To top this all off, we ended up going out of the studio, blinded. No, actually, he had his hands, I think, like this, yeah, around me. Just left, right, and walked me upstairs to the outside patio. All the guys were waiting up there, and it was a surprise birthday party. There was music, there was food. The surprise of it all, you know, just like having just 20 minutes or 15 minutes, or not even that, just a couple of minutes prior to this, you know, sitting in the studio tracking solos with Steve, to suddenly having the birthday present and a surprise birthday party. Whew. So that's how it all went down. Let's take a closer look at this guitar. Let's do it. So the first thing about this guitar, I guess it's going to be an obvious one, it's quite light, you know, there's not a lot of weight to it. I mean, you could easily hold it up with one hand. It's actually quite well balanced as well. Despite it having a lot of sort of sharp, what looks like jaggies, it's actually pretty comfortable because when it's on your lap, this kind of curve part sits there. So not too bad at all to play. One thing that feels a little bit weird is the access is absolutely crazy because you can essentially get your left hand all the way up here. It's completely unrestricted. So let's get a bit closer and just check that out. The bridge on this guitar, I think it's an original edge. And then we've got this DiMarzio pickup in here, which I believe is a Path Pro. This particular flame has an Ibanez headstock. The other ones were performance headstocks. Here we go, check this out. And the neck on this guitar is really cool. I really like it. It's got a great feel. I was setting it up on my Twitch stream last night. Had to restring it for this video, of course, but it feels great. I really like those small black side dots. You can see this neck is heavily played. Steve must have put a good few hours into this guitar. The blank plate here, it's from a gem, which is interesting. I can't see a serial number on the back of this headstock, and I've just left this tape as Steve, I guess he used to put his picks on there and stuff like that. It's got one knob on it, which is a tone knob, which is obviously the volume pot. And the jack socket's in the most logical spot too. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And enjoy the Guitar Techniques 101 deal. Remember, that is a time limited offer, so grab it whilst you can. And I'll see you back here real soon. Take care for now, guys. Cheers.